In this video, we are going to learn about storage media. Under peripherals, we learned about input devices, output devices. Then the third under peripheral, we are going to learn storage media. We call it as secondary memory as well. CPU directly accesses everything from RAM. Therefore, we call RAM as a primary memory and storage media as secondary memory. When you consider the hard disk drive, we normally install operating system using the hard disk drive. So operating system is always needed to start up the machine. So storage media can be internal storage or external storage. We may use some additional storage media to store some other data files. Then we are calling it as external storage as well. This is non-volatile, permanent. Data won't get erased. Now RAM, it is temporary. As you switch off the computer, everything get erased. Here the data permanently stored. Therefore, we call it as non-volatile. There are three kind of storage media. Magnetic, this use actually magnetic charges to store data. Optical, here the laser beams will be used to store data. It creates surface smooth and bumps. Using that only it identifies whether the signal is 1 or 0. Solid states use electrical charges. Magnetic media, there are two types. Magnetic media, hard disk drive. Here actually we mainly store operating system as well as some other needed files. For example, when you are installing certain softwares, always we need to install into the C drive. So no option. Therefore, such softwares always will be directly installing into the operating system hard disk drive. Other than that, many softwares we can separately install using other external drives as well. Now hard drive is made of several parts. Platter, that is actually discrete magnetic coated material. There only we store data. A spindle is used to rotate the platter. Head consists of coil, right? Whenever you send electrical signal through a coil, it generates magnetic field. You would have learned it in physics, right? Actuator arm is there. That arm only moves the read-write head. Then we need to give power. There will be a power connector. All the hard disk drive use ID connector. Nowadays, most of the hard disk drive, almost all hard disk drive use SATA connector. Then the actuator is there. It only actually rotate the actuate arm. You should be able to mark these things, right? Here platter, spindle, read write head, actuator arm, this is actuator, and power cable and data cable port. Now it's used actually magnetic field to store data. So therefore there will be a coil here, tiny coil, right, end of this hard disk read write head. And whenever you send signals, because computer use always binary signal on or off. So whenever it receive on, magnetic field will be created. Using that magnetic field, these magnetic particles will be magnetized. This is how hard disk drive store data. Right, factors that affect the read write speed of a hard disk drive. Factors mean always the mechanical process is slower than the electrical process. So hard disk drive actually use mechanical parts, movements are there, therefore always there will be a latency. So this word is very important. Latency actually we are using because it's take time. Now read write head actually normally seeks time will be 4 to 15 milliseconds. Then the platter rotation speed RPM, revolution per minute, 5400 or 7200. While storing data it get fragmented, right? It is actually fragmented since it is not going to keep it in one location. So therefore whenever you read, hard disk drive need to search these block by block and organize everything and read it for you. So therefore there is a delay. These are the factors affect hard disk drive read write performance, right? Even if any question you should be able to answer using these points. I am always asking you to don't try to memorize line by line, right? You listen to this like you are watching a movie, right? You are watching a movie about the storage media. At the end you see, you won't forget anything. If you understand everything clearly, you can answer all questions related to this topic. Then the other magnetic media is actually magnetic tape. Here it is actually storage capacity is very high, cheaper, but it always use sequential order. Therefore day to day storage we can't use this. Normally it is used actually to keep bulk data and to retrieve after certain times of period, not for the day to day use. Then we can see the characteristics of hard disk drive that makes them more suitable for use with servers than magnetic tape. That's what I told you. Day to day actually we can't use this, because when you consider the hard disk drive, fast access time compared to, even though it is using mechanical parts, compared to tape drive it is faster. The second, randomly can access. Tape drive support high capacity, low cost, but it's sequential access, lower speed. These actually factors not suitable for real time server operations. This point we need to understand very clearly. Then optical media. These actually use laser beams to write and read data. Compared to hard disk drive, lower capacity. At the same time it is actually fragile. So therefore easily damage, don't last as long because the disk drives are fragile. Slow access time because optical disk drives are mechanical like hard disk drive, and the access will be little slower. Normally there will be a spindle here. The A is actually spindle, the B is a sensor. Now we can see how the read drive process is activated. Here in the CD, DVD, Blu-ray disc all, when laser write data, it will make actually lands and pits. Lands means smooth surface, pits mean like this, not smooth. Whenever the laser beam hits the land, it will reflect. Whenever it hits the pit, scattered. So this how the read write head identify ones and zero. When it is reflected, it identifies it as 1, not reflected, 0. So the basic read write mechanism will be laser light shine onto the surface, then read write head moves across the surface, light is reflected to the photocell when it is hit the land, flat surface area, smooth area, then it identifies it as 1. Light is scattered if a pit exists, not detected by the photocell, representing 0. Then this will be converted analog to digital and send it to the computer. Computer will read using 1s and 0. The same time, when we write data to CD or DVD, we will be sending electrical signals. According to the electrical signal, laser beam will be generated. According to that laser beam, the pits and lands will be created. Now this mechanism also you should be able to explain. Now see, you no need to memorize everything, right? Now you understood only 2 points you have to remember: laser beam, land, pit. That's all. You can put your own word and write. Nothing to memorize. Now here you get different actually the types. Now compact is only introduced early stage. ROM mean read only memory. The compact disc mean the capacity is compared to the DVD and Blu-ray disc, it is less. ROM mean read only memory, because you can't write anything, because depends on the crystal material used here. In a CD-ROM, the material used here we can't change. Then you get another kind of compact disc, CD-R, write once, right? That crystalline material you can change only once. Till the capacity reach, you can write. After that you can't change it, modify it. Then CD-RW, rewriting is possible. That crystalline material allow you to modify the crystals. Therefore, read-write is possible. So you will be getting this ROM, R, RW in all CD, DVD. So difference between CD and DVD, this is actually the higher capacity. DVD capacity compared to CD very high. Then compared to DVD, the Blu-ray disc capacity is very high. That is depends on the light beam wavelength. Now let's say the wavelength is very long, so then the storage capacity will be very less, right? Now you all learn about these the waves, right? The wavelength mean, here the wavelength you can take like this, like this. Let's say within this distance, right, we are storing 3 wavelengths like this. At the same time, if the wavelength is very small, then you can store many wavelengths. So shorter the wavelength, higher the capacity, right? That theory should be very clear. Now CD actually use semiconductor laser. This is 780 nanometers wavelength. You no need to memorize these values, right? Only thing is you have to understand the theory, how this storage capacity increase. Then once you come to the DVD, it is actually use red laser, right? The 650 nm mean it actually the laser color will be red color. Then the Blu-ray is used 405 nanometer. Now it is okay pronounced as Blu-ray, blue laser, but actual color will be violet. Now this how the storage capacity vary using this different kind of wavelength mechanism used to store this optical data. In all you get, right, CD, DVD, Blu-ray, ROM, write once, rewritable, possible. Then the next storage media will be solid state. Now here electrical signal will be used, and it is not converted to light beams or a magnetic field. Using electrical charges itself, it store data. Now see here, you would have learned about capacitors in physics. Now let's say this is the signal we are sending, right? This is the signal we are sending, and there will be a controller. Controller will take this signal. According to this, it will charge these capacitors. right? Then reading time, from all these cells the controller can read 1 and 0 and transfer to the computer. So finally electrical charges will be used to store data. Solid state device mean USB flash drive, the phones and all you go use memory card, camera. These are the example. We call it as normally SD card. And nowadays you get internal hard disk drive as well. Even you can install operating system here. So performance will be better than the standard hard disk drive. Then actually this kind of hard disk drive you can connect SATA cable. This is to actually send and receive data. Power cable is to provide power to the disk drive. Then after learning actually these technologies, now it is straightforward. Sometimes you may come across kind of questions they won't directly ask to compare hard disk drive and DVD. Indirect questions they might prompt. So you have to take the question and you need to analyze. According to the question we should be able to answer. Now characteristic of flash memory, effective use. How? When you take the cost little expensive compared to other media, right? That part should be clear. Then endurance means actually limited number of write and erase cycle. So therefore if you have any program, if it is need to continuously update, then it is not suitable. Updating means continuously you are changing. Non-volatile, therefore no need to worry about the power, not temporary, it is actually permanent. Then write speed generally slower than RAM, write operation. Reading is fast, so therefore if frequently need to update any programs, then it is not suitable. Frequently updating means frequently you are writing. Small, right? Small and durability, because size is very small, compact. That's what we can use with mobile phones and all, because there is a lack of moving part. Therefore it won't affect with shocks and vibration. So that is the main reason mobile devices and the rugged environment where the HDD might fail, because there are moving parts, no? Even if you drop, suddenly HDD might fail then and there. But here those kind of issues actually overcome. So therefore advantage and disadvantage there. Now SSD means now you don't need to memorize each and every line, right? SSD use electrical charges to store, no moving parts there. Now hard disk drive we learn, no? CD-ROM also we learn there are moving parts. SSD we didn't learn any moving part, no? Just a storage. Then it is tiny, therefore can use with mobile devices, and the power consumption is also less. So that's what I'm always asking, don't keep these notes front of you and try to memorize line by line. Now see, you just watch this like as you are watching a movie, then at the end you will be remember everything, right? Then they might actually prompt questions because it is very tiny and compact, why it is used in smartphone. So we should be able to answer. These actually they are not directly asking what is the function of solid state disk, what is the characteristic of solid state disk. That's why it is used in smartphone. Then you have to remember, right? It is actually compact. So smartphone is small. Since it is compact, we can provide that memory. And much more faster than hard disk and the CD, because no mechanical movement. Therefore, quick boot time, fast application launch, increased durability because no moving parts, no issue with vibration and shocks, energy efficient. So we use mobile phone use battery, so battery the lifetime it will get little longer because it consumes less power. So these are the facts actually why we use SSD in mobile devices, smartphone, camera, whatever. Then no noisy, right? No moving parts, no. Therefore, no noisy. Smaller size, higher capacity, right? If you compare the hard disk and the SSD size will be same, but SSD can provide more storage capacity. Then the same time the question might prompt, what are the disadvantages of using SSD? Say according to the question we have to answer. All these are the benefits. Then SSD disadvantage, one is cost, expensive. The other one is we have learned the read write cycle, limited number of cycles. Therefore, if continuously upgrading, it is not suitable. Likewise, you can write disadvantages as well. Now here we will take a drawback of using solid state storage: cost, limited write cycles. Storage capacity, it is available. Now actually they design SSD with higher capacity. The issue is more expensive. If we compare the hard disk capacity and the SSD capacity, SSD will be more expensive compared to hard disk drive. And the data recovery is little complex. Hard disk drive actually data recovery is very easy, but data recovery in SSD little difficult. So these are the disadvantages. According to question we should be able to answer, nothing to memorize line by line. Right. Now this is normally actually we are not writing, but since they are asking the disadvantage, we can even use this as well. Overheating, because it's compact, no, small, one in tiny place. So when it is a very heavy workload, right, it's overloaded, so heating problem may cause damage to these storage medias. So power failure might cause, that is not only for SSD, any electronic device power failure cause damages, but specifically not for SSD, anything we can take this as a disadvantage. Faster read speed, but number of writing cycle limited. So this we know, right, this effect. Now we can compare basically here hard disk, flash media, optical, magnetic tape. Actually the flash media is the fastest. The next fast is hard disk. Then optical, magnetic is the slowest. Then capacity, hard disk vary up to GBs, flash media available in TB. Optical you get CD, DVD and Blu-ray. Blu-ray use higher capacity. And magnetic tape very very high, because it is cheaper, the capacity will be very high, but day to day use it is not suitable. Then cost per GB, flash only very expensive. Optical medium, this is high, this is very low. Usage, that is of course can use in server, personal computer, even here it's a laptop, and specifically in mobile devices, here specifically for multimedia. Whole system backup, right, that means capacity will be very high, we can keep the entire backup and just you leave it, that's all. We are not using for day to day activities. Whenever needed, retrieve it and take for modification. Once you come to the portability, nothing is not suitable, only flash media is suitable for portability. Now these are the basic kind of property. Now see, if you learn this theory properly, right, if you understand this theory clearly, then you no need to memorize. right, soon after finishing, right, first unit, you can take past papers and see, you can directly answer all questions, all related to unit 1 you can answer. This I no need to explain here, right. Bit mean actually a signal. One signal is known as bit, that can be 0 or 1. So hard disk actually change the magnetic media stored in the platter when it is writing. Reading time what happen? Platter rotate, right? Platter rotate, then the read write head goes near the data. There is a, when magnetic field actually pass through the coil, it will generate electric signal. Then those pulses will be read by the computer. So writing electric to magnetic field, reading magnetic field to electric. The optical media, writing optical to, we can't say electric. Optical media is used to create pit and lands, bumps, right. Smooth surface will be land, then the bump surface will be pit. So using laser, actually the crystal material is changed, crystal structure will be changed. Then when we are reading, land will generate 1, bumps, pits will generate 0. That is actually the photocell will read the light beam and it will be converted to electrical signal. Flash media use electric charges, levels of electric charges will be used, right. This is the basic thing. Now you should be able to clearly understand how hard disk store data, how optical media store data, how flash media, solid state disk use data. Then, like, you know, as I told you, sometimes they won't directly ask questions. We have to understand certain basic theory. Now, why the game software may require access to the hard drive? Why the game software may require access to the hard disk drive? Because now modern games, now, but then we have to see, according to the question, they are asking why the game software may require access to the hard drive. Then you have to say, right, CD there is used for the game software. Why we need to access hard disk when we are using game? Major difference is capacity, right. Now the higher resolution games and all use much more memory space, then we need higher memory. The next thing is read write speed is faster compared to CD drives. So therefore when we are playing game, the speed also matters. So therefore we use the CD and we install the game software to our hard disk drive. Then it actually make little faster. The performance impact won't be there, right. So therefore according to the question we should be able to answer. Then now see these are not questions, right. I am explaining the theory, but this kind of thing, after we learn theory we should be able to analyze and provide answers. Why the game software may require access to the DVD? Now earlier it asked why it is accessing the hard disk drive. Now it is asking why it required to access the DVD. Why? Only one reason mainly you can think. Capacity wise no issue, speed wise hard disk is good, capacity also hard disk is good. Then why they are asking to access the CD means, once you buy, right, some license issues, whomever bought the CD only should use. Another person want the game, they should buy the CD and install. So even you install it to the hard disk drive, whenever you play the game, it is going to access certain files from the CD or DVD, right. Therefore these things you need to remember. One thing is related to the copyright, right, digital right, okay, the management. One is for the copyright, verify the ownership. Therefore it need that CD as well when you are playing the game. Sometimes certain crucial files may be stored in the CD, not for the licensing, just to read it from the CD. That's also possible. So that is possible. Next one is the license and verification. Disk based consent mean like music or other assets may be stored on the disk. So every time when you play the game, you need to access from the CD. So then and there we need to think. They are actually giving the hard and DVD and asking why in this scenario this particular drive is used. So then if you know how hard disk and CD work, then you can answer the question. Now see this one. Why the game does not require writable optical storage media? Why the game? Now you are installing the game, right? You are just want to play the game. You are not going to modify the game, right? You bought it from an authorized people who written the game, so they don't want to modify it. So you just install, you play. That's all. Install and play. Then we no need actually the writable media to use. At the same time, they can ask in a different angle here, why rewritable media is less crucial for gaming, right? We no need to modify anything there. We just install and use, that's all. Therefore rewrite is not required. Other thing is rewritable is just expensive, so therefore they no need to rewrite it just for the installation. Another thing is if it is rewritable disk, writing is possible, no? It may cause damage to your game software. Accidentally if you write something, it might actually corrupt the entire game. Then when you consider the cost, rewritable media expensive, but here the rewritable requirement is not there, then therefore no need to just increase the cost. Another thing is the readable media is not commonly used. Most of the time we take CDs, DVDs and just use it. So these are the basic things. Now see, we learn about hard disk drive, solid disk, then optical. But once you come to the question, they are not directly asking to compare. Sometimes they are, sometimes indirect. So then we need to see first of all, what are the characteristics? Why this particular disk is suitable for this situation? That is very, very important, right? Then there is a small thing here we need to learn, a capacity relationship, right? 8-bit. Bit is a signal. To store one character we need 8 bit. Character can be A, B, C, whatever. You need 8 signal to store. 8 bit is known as 1 byte. Then there are actually two type of formats we need to clearly understand. This is actually the latest. Now here the relationship kilo mean you know always 10 to the power 3, no? If we just given like capital K, that indicate 1000. Just capital M, it indicate 10 to the power 6. G mean 10 to the power 9. So this we call it as kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte. That relationship is very, very important, huh? Byte to kilo, 1000. Byte to mega, then that 1000 multiplied by another 1000. Then how many zeros? Altogether 6 zeros, 10 to the power 6. Then byte to giga, you need to multiply by another 1000. Then how many zeros? 9. Giga. Then tera, 12. Similarly, they have introduced the new kind of format. Most of the time they will be using this. So we need to familiar with this. That is because of computer use base 2. Right? 2 to the power 10 comes 1024, not 1000. So therefore the new format is used. K simple I mean it's kilobyte, but relationship is not 1000, 1024. M I mean 1024 multiplied by another 1024, then 1024 power 2. Right? Then when you come to this giga, 1024 to the power 3. then 1024 to the power 4, likewise it comes. That we need to understand clearly, right? This is the direct relationship, kilo, mega, giga, tera, but ki, mi, gi mean the relationship is not 1024. Now we can see a few examples, then it will be very clear to you. Construct an expression to show how many bits are in 128 GIB. GIB means directly 1024 relationship. Now to find the bits, what is the direct relationship between bit and byte? 8. 8 bit is 1 byte. So always remember, whatever the amount given here, first of all you need to relate it to the byte, then only you can find the bit value, right? Now see here, 128 gigabyte, 128 gigabyte. So what is the relationship if you want to convert this to byte? Kilo, 3 zeros, mega, another 3 zeros, giga, another 3 zeros. It is given G and simple I, that means relationship is 1024. Then 1024 times 1024 times 1024, then 1024 to the power 3. Because why? When it said giga means a huge amount, always you have to remember like that. If we are representing giga in byte, so in byte it will be a huge amount. In giga less just 128, but in byte it will be a huge amount. Huge amount means always the relationship should be multiplied, right? Then once you multiplied 128 by this, everything come byte. Then to convert to bit, 1 byte is 8 bit. So this much of bit mean you have to multiply it by 8 to get the entire bit value. So these actually the common type of expression, always you should be able to calculate it and show. See another example here. The health monitor stores 3 KIB of kilobyte of data. Construct an expression to show how many bits are in 3 kilobyte. Very simple, no? Relationship between byte and kilo, just 3 zeros you remember, but we are using 1024. The newly introduced format is relationship is 1024. Then we are only multiplying by just 1024. Then 3 multiplied by 1024 becomes byte. Then if you multiply that by 8, becomes 8 bit. Right, sorry, 24,576 bits. But here in exam, even you no need to calculate this. You need to provide this expression. This is more than enough. Once you provide this expression, it is more than enough. Then see this question, 120 GB gigabyte memory card. Now she is taking photograph, the photo capacity 300 megabyte, asking how many photos she can take. So then here see the relationship, here the gigabyte, here megabyte. Whenever you are doing calculation, right, you would have learned in maths, always this unit should be same, no? Otherwise it give complete actually wrong value. Now this is in giga, you have to convert this to giga, otherwise you need to convert this to mega. Right, first now see, if I write like this, you should not get confused. Straight away what you will do is, we will convert this to mega. So this multiplied by 1024, 128 multiplied by 1024, then it is given in mega, no? Then this also in mega, no? So one photo 3 megabyte. Then how many photos mean how many 3 megabytes are there for this much of megabyte. Now here it is given 128 divided by 3 multiplied by 1024. You should not get confused. Here the answer is given gigabyte. What we have done here, we have converted this to giga, right? So when you are actually representing any mega in giga, giga will just give a very tiny number, no? Because giga is a huge capacity for using. Mega giga relationship is 1024. So if you want to represent this in giga, definitely it is going to be less than, much more less than 3, 1000 times less than 3. So if we want to convert this to giga, we divide this by 1024. 3 divided by 1024, then this will be given in giga. So that is the capacity of the photo. Now you want to see how many photos, no? Then 128, you put a division sign here, and 3 over 1024. How to simplify? The division sign you need to convert to multiplication. Then it will go upside down. Right? That's how this expression is given. That should be clear to you. 128, then this also we are converting it to giga. Then it goes upside down, then answer is given in giga. Right? If answer is given in mega, what do is directly we multiplied 128 by 1024 and we divide by 3. Then the answer is given in mega. So here the answer is given in giga. Right? That should be very clear to you. Any doubts you can clarify. It's very, very important relationship between these units. Right? Now let's say here, which one of these is the largest amount of data? Always tera is actually the huge capacity, but we have to see the amount it is given. Now what we can do is we can see all in KB, because here the KB is the least capacity unit, no? So what we can do is we can take everything in KB and see. Now here it is 1 KB. Now here if you want to convert this mega to KB, 1000 relationship, right? You roughly 1, 2, 3. Right? If you want to convert this to KB, then 1, 2, 3. Then 1 KB and this also 1 KB, almost both capacity same. Then tera mean 1000, 1000, 1000. Another 1000. Then how many zeros? 12 zeros. That means 1, 2, 3. Then again another 3, another 3. It goes like that. So this capacity is the highest capacity. Giga means giga to byte. We multiplied by 1000, it becomes mega. Then that multiplied by 1000 comes kilo. Right? Then it will be 6 zeros. Here kilo, mega, kilo to mega, mega to giga, giga to tera. There will be 9 zeros. So if you put 9 zero, multiplication means this is moving right side, no, like this. So this is the highest capacity. Similarly, which one of these is the smallest amount of data? Smallest we'll see. Now here see gigabyte, kilobyte, right? Only ki is there, not byte, no, kilobyte. So we can convert all this to kilobyte. So to convert to kilo, what is the relationship? Giga to mega, mega to kilo. Then there will be 6 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, and another 3 mean it will be 1000 KB. Right? So this also 1000 KB. Then this is 1 megabit mean what? 1 megabit mean if you multiply this by 1000, it becomes KB. So then it will be 1000 KB. So this will be 1000 KB, right? Then this is definitely going to be a huge capacity. We can just omit this one. This will be 1000 KB, this will be 1000 KB, and this one, sorry, this giga to mega, if you multiply this by 1000, this becomes 1 mega. Then if you multiply this by 1000, that become here actually small mistake, I think. There is the decimal place, it should come here, 0.001, right? When it comes 0.001, then what will happen? 1 2 3 mega, then 1 2 3, then it will be 100 kb. Then this become 100 kb. Then I think it's better to put there is a small mistake here. Now 1 2 3 1 2 3, then this becomes 100 kb, right? Because giga to mega, mega to kb. Then here 1000 kb, here 1000 kb, here 10 terabyte. So this will be the smallest capacity. Camera with a 128 GB memory card can be stored this much of photographs, each having 3 megabit capacity. Correct? Now one way actually we can say 128 gigabits equal 128 into 1024, that becomes megabyte. No? Then 128 1024 divided by 3. Now here the complete answer is given in megabyte, right? If it is in this way, complete answer is given in gigabyte. Here instead of changing this to mega, we are changing this 3 to giga. Then straightforward, 128 divide by 3 over 1024. Then when you are changing to the multiplication sign, 1024 over 3. Then you can write it this way, 128 divided by 3 multiplied by 1024. Right? Now it is very clear how this relationship is connected, what kind of thing we should know, how these question formats actually they prompt, not direct question, then and there we should be able to decide. So if the theory is clear, now it is very clear, you can just go through even now itself. So later I will be past papers as well, you can answer all questions related to these chapters. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.